I want to preface this video by apologizing for the infrequency of my uploads. The reason why I do that, and you know this if you've seen my announcing video, my announcing gig log, which is right here, whoa, right here. You know I work on Saturdays, and you know I announce football. And also on Sundays, I'm working on homework. So that leaves me very little time to make and edit videos. But football is winding down, and that means I'll have my Saturdays freed up, which means I can make more videos, and hopefully I can upload 2 to 3 times a week. Alright, that's it for me. Let's get to the video. I already know what I regret making this video. It was a requested video, but still, I'm going to record this. The topic today is the sync button. Alright, the sync button. So before we go into debate, my experience with the sync button, as well as who you beat match by ear, even if you have a sync button, is where the sync button comes from. So back in the day, before the sync button, you had to beat match by ear. Beat matching by ear is taking 2 beats of 2 different songs and syncing them up as one. So instead of sounding like da-dun, 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 when you're mixing, it's dun, dun, dun. One seamless beat. So you did this all by ear, you learned how to do it, it took a long time, it was really the heart of DJing. But with computers like this one, and beat grids and that sort of thing, computers began to be able to do that for you. They became able to sync the songs together. The sync button, that's what they called it. And it beat matches for you. Now, most equipment nowadays has it, some doesn't still, but most has it. And my first controller had it. And so now, as you can tell, we're moving into the topic of my experiences with the sync button. So, when I first started out, I had an SES40J by Stan, and that had a sync button. And I'm not going to lie, I used it. And the reason I used it is I didn't know how to beat match by ear. But instead of just permanently relying on the sync button, what I figured I'd do is instead, I learn to beat match using the sync button. And what I mean by that is, when I first started out, I used it. I didn't even try. So, and then what I did is I would slowly learn how to beat match. I did the best I could to beat match it, and then I just finish it off, you know, the finishing blow with the sync button. And what that allowed me to do is start to learn, you know, is this track behind the other one? Is it before it? Are these BPMs the same? That sort of thing. With that safety net of the sync button. And so as I got better and better at beat matching, I used the sync button less and less. So I got to the point where I didn't use it anymore. I weaned my way off of using the sync button. So now, I don't use the sync button at all. Never. Moving on. So, where has this debate of the sync button come from? Well, it comes from 2 different groups. One, the older guys who've been DJing for a long time, and the guys who put in the work to learn how to beat match by ear and not use the sync button because they call it the more purest form and get more accurate results, that sort of thing. And the newer DJs who haven't developed their skills as much and they're still trying to be good DJs. I mean, these aren't people who are just putting together playlists on iTunes and, you know, calling themselves DJs. These are people who might have invested in some equipment. Maybe it's only virtual DJ, but they still have invested. You know, they're trying and they're starting to learn, and they're using the sync button. Because I'll admit, at first it's probably a little bit of to match songs together and makes everything sound good. So they use the sync button. Even though sometimes the sync button doesn't work perfectly and it does still sound a little jumbled. So that's where that debate comes from. The new guys and the old guys. Now, where do I lay on this argument? Well, I'm going to be honest, I log kind of in the middle. I don't support either. I'm kind of my own third group. I'm a third party. I'm not a Donald Trump or a Hillary Clinton. I'm a third party candidate. So, what I mean by this is, like I said earlier, I wean my way off the sync button. And if I had to teach someone how to DJ, I'd do it that way with them too. Just because I feel like that's the best way to learn without getting really frustrated and that sort of thing. But yes, you should learn how to beat match. And I'm fine if you want to stick with sync button, but still you should learn how to beat match even though you use sync button predominantly. And this is why. Let's set up a scenario. Say you're in a club and you got your DJI SZ, and you're just, yeah, let's go, or your XDJ RX. That's a better example, your XDJ RX. And you got your USB, and you're going to use the sync button, having a good time, and you're rocking the party, and your controller crashes. Breaks, can't shut it back on, and people are starting to get a little noise. About a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and you're starting to panic, and then you notice on the corner eye they have CDJ 2000s. I'm not talking about Nexuses, I'm talking about CDJ 2000s, the original 2000. You're like, alright, I got this, it's the same thing, just different pieces. I'll just stick my USB in and we're good. We're good to go, we're golden. So you do that, you put your first song on, and people are like, oh yeah, it's coming back, oh yeah. And you look for the sync button, and you're like, where's the sync button, where's the sync button? It's not there. That's because the CJ 2000 doesn't have the sync button. So you're done for, you know, because you don't know how to beat match by ear. That's what I'm saying, you should know how to beat match by ear, even though you use sync button predominantly, so you can get yourself out of a tight squeeze like that. You know, it might not sound the best, it might not sound as good as someone who's seasoned at using their ears to beat match, but still, you can finish out the night, and you won't sound terrible, because you know the basics on how to beat match. Now, it's not going to be fancy, but, you know, it's better than nothing. So that's where I stand. Use the sync button originally, when you're starting out, to understand beats and matching beats. And then use it as a way, as a safety net, when you're practicing your beat matching, to finish off the beat matches. So then, eventually, you wean your way off of it. And that's because you'll have both assets. So in case maybe you're in a club one night, your sync button stops working, you can beat match by ear, even though it might be a little crude. Anyway guys, that's enough from me. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't debate too much in the comment sections. So guys, that's it. Hope you liked the video. Practice and enjoy it. Like and subscribe. DJ DrawgZ. Over and out. If you stay to the end, I got a little announcement for y'all. About in a month here, so, well, more than a month, about 2 months. January 1st, I'm going to be dropping the line of clothes on my website, which is right there. So, I'm going to be doing that, and I'll be starting with shirts. I'll be starting with sweatshirts, and jackets, and a t-shirt. And, yeah, I'll have, I think, about 10 larges of each, 5 XLs of each, and 3 mediums of each. So if you'd like one of those, include in your comments in the game. And if you say that, I'll make sure I contact you, and I'll make sure I send you a shirt for 50% off the price that you see on the website.